Hi Shaz, thanks for joining us. Hi Christine. What have we got here? Got a beautiful audience today. Teddy's getting grounded. He's probably found a bloody dog poo actually and rubbing in it. What else have we got down here? See how good this camera is, eh? I'll try and keep it still. Where are we? G'day Lawrence, thanks for joining us. Michael Shane, cheer bro. Oh look, they're going to come over. Are they, Teddy? Yeah, they're having a play. Oh, they're all going to come together. These guys up to... I'm trying to keep it still for you guys. It's just... I need a few tools actually. Gonna have to get myself a bloody selfie stick. Here's the other one over there. Paradise ducks. In paradise. Isn't that beautiful? They know what it's about. Oh, he's scaring the other one off. Do you know why they're doing that? Because paradise ducks always stay in pairs. There was only 3 of them there before. I'm going to zoom back out. There was only 3 of them there before, and I wondered where the other one was. Because when paradise ducks get together, they stay together for life. And if one or the other dies, they don't find another partner. Mourning, Shaz. Oh, I don't know about that word mourning. It usually means someone's died if we're in mourning. I like to say good day. And don't say hello, say hi, because we all like to be hi. Don't we? So there's 2 paradise ducks over there. That'll be the one couple. And they're just hanging out together. I think there's a bit of competition going on because this little guy over here, that one, where are we? My finger. Oh, shivers. My finger. Oh, lost it. Well, that one there, he's causing a bit of trouble. I think he's scaring this guy off. He doesn't like the competition. Oh, where are they going? Oh, there they are. Oh, oh. See, you probably can't see that well because I'm so shaky. Sorry about that. So here we are out in the field. Oh, they're coming round. Oh, g'day. Oh, they just flew over me. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Good mahi, bro. Thanks, Lawrence. I just get shitty streaming. Tend to watch after. All good. Actually, Darlene, thanks for joining us. Evan, we've got a heap of paradise ducks out here. Having a bit of a korero. One guy's over here. I don't know what's going on. One duck way over there. There are other birds around here. There's another type of bird over there, actually. I don't know what it is. Birds on the wing. Birds on the wing. There's me feather, me rako. But anyway, we've got a little special audience today. Where are we? There they are. And there are a couple there. And then there's that guy over there. Pretty sure it's the male that's got the white head. Does anyone know? It's the male that's got the white head with the paradise ducks here in paradise. Very serendipitous, isn't it? Well, these parts of the signs. It's all about the signs and reading them and listening. And to listen, you must be silent. Can't be silent. Some guy's got a lawnmower going on over here. Anyway, here we are in the field. I'll try and zoom out here again so you can get a bigger view. Oh, there we go. Ah, there we go. Here we are in the field. The field of energy. Well, our taonga is our audience today. The paradise ducks over there. You won't be able to see them with me zoomed out. Here we are in the field. It's a good ground, this ground. We've got to get grounded, don't we? Let's get grounded. Because then we're on solid ground, eh? We have good grounding, good foundation. Then we can affirm things. We're on firm terra firma territory, aren't we? When we get down to earth, don't we say, oh, let's all get down to earth? Well, let's all get down to earth, eh? Get grounded. Get in the field. And feel the field. See that? You've got your soul and your heel. Pretty dirty one. Mine's a bit of a dirty soul and a dirty heel. A foot. Getting grounded. That's what we're doing. Me and Teddy are out in the field. Teddy's hunting. Teddy hunting. Someone's got their lawnmower going over there. Righto, let's go for a little wander. Just walk around the field. Because we like round fields, don't we? We like a round field. Here's the tree. Here's our lovely trees. What are you doing, dog? See all these leaves? They're all separate, aren't they? Are they all separate, or are they part of something else? I wonder if those individual leaves are conscious of the bigger part of itself. You know, the roots, the trunk. The trunk's the log, a logarithm, the rhythms of the log. What are logs? Oh, logistics. Oh, it's all about numbers. It's a numbers game, isn't it? So all these individual leaves and their numbers. Oh, look what they do. They speak volumes and say nothing. Call them leaves. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, all one. Leave me alone. And they're all individual, aren't they? So they leave each other alone, don't they? But they don't completely shade each other, do they? They leave enough light for others to be able to see and to garner energy. The sea. Oh, the sky's blue. Wonder why it's blue. The tree. Oh, let's get under the shade of the tree. It's in the hot sun. It gives us shade. In the winter, the wood gives us warmth. Then we're at the heart of things, because we're at the hearth. And the hearth is the warm place in front of the fire. And we all, go out on a limb, don't we? Sometimes you've got to go out on a limb, branch out a little bit, leave the nest. Oh, birds nest in trees, don't they? Huh, I would too. Wouldn't you? Sounds like a good idea. Tree, many different parts to a tree. All grounded. As above, so below. Getting grounded. That's what we've got to do, get grounded. Have solid foundations. How do we do that? How do we do that? Well, we do that with insight. Looking inside. And reflecting on what's outside. Because there's always two sides to things, isn't there? Inside, outside. Oh, wait a minute, there's an upside too, isn't there? Oh, there's also a downside. Depends which way you're facing, I suppose. Just look around. Look around, what's all about you? What's all about you? Oh, look, it's all about you. It's all about you, isn't it? Oh, I tell you, you can all get rooted. Like the tree. Go get rooted. You all like a good rooting, don't you? The government's been doing it for a while, rooting you. Or rooting against you, actually. Because when you root for someone, you're for them, aren't you? Oh, that makes sense, doesn't it? Not dollars and cents, but it makes good sense. And we've got to be sensible about things, because that means we're able, isn't it? If we're able. Got to keep our senses about us. They're all about us, our senses. And they have value. They're good value, actually. So we've got to be sense-able. And we don't want to be disabled, do we? We don't want to be disabled, because then we might need a cane. And Cain in the Bible got disabled, didn't he? He killed Abel. Cain killed Abel. So Cain became disabled. Just makes sense, doesn't it? But you can't profit on that kind of sense. But it's profitable in that you will garner value from it. Well, it makes no sense. It's not going to make money. But it has value. And it's worth something, isn't it? Isn't it worth something? Something of value? I wonder what it cost. What did it cost you and me? Oh, is that a costume? Oh, costume-me. C-O-S-T-U-M-E. Did that cost you and me? Were we disabled? What value does that have? See, you're going to have to start realising and re-evaluating what you put worth, cost and value into. Because you're able to have value. Here's our, I think those are the males. Two paradise ducks. Haven't seen them here before. Oh, those are two males. Lawrence, are those the males? I'm not too sure. Anyone tell me? Males and females? The femur? The femur bone. Ah, the female bone. Oh. I don't know where the females have gone. Are they the females? Are the females almost... What is it? There's a rule there somewhere. Or a trend. I think it's in with birds, the males are always more attractive, aren't they? Is anyone there? Can you hear me? Are you listening? Hello? Can someone just chime in there to make sure I'm still going live here? Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't mind if you don't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't mind. And I don't mind. But it all matters. Well, that depends on you again, isn't it? You know, what's it worth to you? What does it cost you? And what's the value? You know, that all comes down to how you register things. Because you put things of value in the register, don't you? Cash register, isn't it? Isn't it a cash register? You register things. Registration. Kind of ends in the same suffix as castration, doesn't it? I mean, cut off. Might mean something's been cut off there, folks. Then you're into frustration. And frustration comes from expectation. Because expectations lead to frustrations. And we're all a bit frustrated at the moment. Because we're out of our comfort zones. These guys, aren't they? They're in paradise. These guys are in paradise. Oh, there's another one over there. Holy moly, there's 3 of them. 3 males. Don't know what's going on here. 3. The triune, is it? Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. Tammuz, Horus, and Tammuz, is it? Isis, Osiris, and Horus, was it? Horus. Where's Horus? Horus is hours, folks. The hours, Horus. The hours. That's why it sets. Horus, the horizon. Horus has risen. Horus has risen. Oh, there's the female over the back there. So the horizon is Horus rising. And the set? Wow. That's Set, isn't it? They're Egyptian, aren't they? Aren't they all Egyptian gods? Attention. Aten. Oh, Aten. Aten. Ra. Amen. Amenhotep. Oh, is there a code in there somewhere? There's some sort of secret code. Look, I think we've got 3 males here and 1 female. This is really unusual. As I say, paradise ducks, as far as I know, my understanding is, because there's things you do want to understand, my understanding is that paradise ducks always stay in pairs. Once they mate, they stay mates for a long time. We've got 4 of them here. I think 3 males and 1 female. Might be a bit of competition going on here. Maybe they're all young ones. Prying, trying to impress upon the female. He's walking away. This is bizarre. Oh yeah, he didn't like it. He's telling these 2 guys to bugger off. This one might be trying to hone in on his lady. I'll do a bit of a show here, folks. I'll try and can I zoom out anymore? Oh no, it's zooming in. Hey, can you guys still see me? Hear me, sorry? Is everybody still watching? Can anyone chime in and just tell me a little bit more about paradise ducks other than what I think I know? There's 3 males here and 1 female. Oh, he's chasing off the other males. She'd be quite happy about her, I imagine. Oh no, I wouldn't think so. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, he wouldn't be very happy, would he? Or she wouldn't be very happy. Hoi! Why is no one chiming in there? Can someone just chime in or throw a thumbs up or something, or a thumbs down, or an icon? Who are you conning? Icon? They call those icons, don't they? On your iPhone and your iPod and your Facebook. See the subliminal programming going on there? The below threshold programming? Same types of programming you get from your TV, But your TV is a visual. Tell, lie, vision. It tells lies by vision. It's a visual. And we as human beings, with our perceptions, because we're pretty perceptive when we're in tune, in a tone, at the core of us, the chorus, we're pretty perceptive. Oh, I see. Sorry, I didn't scroll down. That's what's going on. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not that IT literate, eh? So who else we got here? Sorry about this. Darlene, Evan, Robin, thanks for joining us. Barry Newman, Craig Anderson. Hello for Aspinall. Man, aren't you a bloody shining light in the dark, you girl? Love ya. Love you to the core. Who said the sky is blue? What proof is there that the sky is blue? Who made that colour up? Indeed. Blue. When you feel blue, you're sad, don't you? But I don't know, that makes me feel pretty happy. It's a little bit clouded, but we're all a little bit clouded with our vision, our focus. So we've got a lovely audience today. And Duncan, thanks for joining us. So I presume it's coming through okay. We're all here. Do you hear? Are you here? We're at your hearing. So best you listen. Because you've been caught. I need your attention. Aten. The old Egyptian gods. Gods, oh, there's a word, eh? There's a word that, you know, can do all sorts of things to people. They can do all sorts of things to people. So we've got the paradise ducks out here in the field of energy. Glad you can all join us. We're doing our daily stroll around the park amongst our taonga, our brothers and sisters, that help us get grounded and show us, teach us, because they speak volumes but say nothing. If we're silent and stay in the ball of energy, we're all able, like I said. We don't want to be disabled, do we? We want to be response-able, don't we? Able to respond. That's what that word means. That's what that ward means. Wards are dens. They're boxes. As soon as you say a word, it puts you in a box. Because there's, your intentions with the word may be extremely honourable, but how others receive that word, you've got no control over that. You've got no control over that. How people are going to interpret what you say, or what you said. Isn't Sed another Egyptian god? Said? Hey, Sed, where are you? My Turkish friend. So yin and yang, balance, harmony. See, if I'll see if I can do this actually, I should be able to do this. Well, I'll come back a bit. If I come back a bit here and put a line through, oh shit, the line's too fat. Where are we? It's going to go there. See here, that's a sine wave, up, down. Maybe you can't see that. Anyway, there's a sine wave there. If I draw a line through the from that point there down to that point there, you get the sine wave. See that? That's the sine. That's the wave. The waves. The waves on the water. Because we all wave to each other, don't we? Each other. Each. We like to talk to each other, and then we teach, don't we? To each other. Is there really an other? Is it other? How far outside of you is all that stuff that's all around you, it's all about you? How far out is it? We go, oh, far out, man. Oh, I dropped some acid, man. It was far out. Why is it far out? Because you went far out. And like Terence McKenna said, It's like casting nets into the ocean to seek deeper understandings and catch bigger fish. And the stormier the waters, or the deeper the waters, the bigger the fish you're going to catch. And you can all fathom that, can't you? That's, well, maybe not. We don't know how deep it is. Maybe it's unfathomable. Oh, we're back in that water measurement again. Fathoms. You know, we want to start pulling things out of the water more profound than the simple fact that it's interesting how our little finger fits up our left nostril perfectly. It's funny, that. I better scroll down. Who else is here? Shaz. Oh, yeah. Nighty, Small. Darlene, thanks for tuning in. Female is brown. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Bark's brown, isn't it? Female's bark. Jeez, I'm glad I'm not within throwing distance of any of you girls out there. Hey, I love the balance of female and male. I love it. I love it. It's the yin and yang. It's the yin and yang. We've got to find that in ourselves. All you guys out there, oh, macho fucking tough guys, oh yeah, you're all tough. Why don't you try showing some maturity and manhood, and exercising your manhood with a bit of restraint? Because, you know, guys, and females too, or anybody who jumps to violence, it's a last resort, folks. Because when violence starts, the brain stops. And it's fucking simple as that. So if you have to resort to violence, then it's only a reflection of your own inadequacies. Not anyone else you're permeating injury upon, or suffering injury upon. Up on. You're up on something, are you? Are you on board the ship? Up on? Yeah. What was I there? There was something else back there I needed to talk about. I'm going to go back there and stand in that spot. Because that had a certain perspective. That gave me certain avenues of vision. Hey Jason, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Female has white head. Oh, female has white head with the ducks, is it? Oh, it's a female. Oh yeah, are they backward like that too? Oh, not backward, I should say. Are they the opposite? Are they the other side of the coin, are they? Because there's few birds where the male is actually, where the female is more attractive than the male, I think. I put thought in ink, therefore I think. Where were we before? I can't quite recall. Connects to the 7 seas. I'm sorry, Christine. I'm not quite sure you're there, Christine Henson. You know, yeah. See, I'm no expert in anything. I'm no expert in anything, folks. In fact, the more I, know about things, the more I know I don't know. There's things I know, there's things I don't know, and there's things I can never, ever, ever know, and never will. Well, not in this vehicle anyway. At this time, at this particular particle, this particle of timey, this particular time, cellular, particular. These things, we don't know, because we don't know what's going on here. We don't even know what's going on here, folks. We all know we're part of something, just like all those little leaves on the tree. They're all part of something bigger. They might not fully comprehend what that is, and we can't, because it's incomprehensible. Do you understand? Comprehension? Comprehend. To understand. I talked the other day about understanding and what the meaning of that word is. There are certain things you want to understand. There are certain things you want to overstand. But ultimately, you want to inner stand. Because then again we're centered. We're at the trunk of things and we get that gut feeling. We go with that gut feeling. Gut. It's a Norwegian word, I think. Or was it Germanic? Gut meant gut in, is it Norwegian? It might be Norwegian. I think it is, means your gut, you know, your gut feeling. And that's where we say that gut feeling from. But their word, gut, means God. So they're talking about your God feeling. And your gut's at the centre of things, isn't it? And your heart's where the home is. And we're told to stay home. So I'm staying in my heart. I'm staying home. This is my home. Oh, and they talk about your neighbours. Oh, you stay in your neighbourhood. In the hood of your neighbour. Well, don't they talk about Australia being in our neighbourhood, folks? Isn't Australia in our neighbourhood? I've heard that on TV before, I'm sure, when I was sitting at someone's place watching TV. Excuse me. They talk about our neighbours in Australia and how we stood side by side in war. And that's why they have a flag similar to our flag. And we have the Union Jack on our flag as a protectorate. Oh shit, they might have failed in that role. Oh, they're just rolling. They failed in that duty, didn't they? Duty, isn't that a tax? Isn't it a tax when you're coming through customs? Are you a customer? What's the first thing they ask you when you arrive in the country, folks? What is the first thing they ask you when you arrive in a country? Do you have anything to declare? Oh, that's interesting, eh? Why do they ask you that? You say, yeah, man. Yeah, man, I declare. I do declare. I do declare. Because to be clear is to have clarification. It's good to have clarification on things, isn't it? Gut. Yeah, gut. Gut feeling. Yep. Indeed. Indeed. You should look into that word. I often finish some of my posts or just I put one word. Indeed. I don't know what that means. Where was I? Gut feeling. Centered. Grounded. Energy. Yeah, the energy. See these flowers? These plants, they're telling us again, you know. It's good to revisit things sometimes. That means to visit things again. Sometimes things need to be revisited. Because that means we revise them, don't we? With new eyes. Beautiful. Be full of beauty. Whoa. Electric bike. Okay. As long as you're still with me and all good, give us some feedback there, guys. Anything goes, you know. Anything goes. Anything goes. Hey, everyone's so quiet. Everyone's so quiet, you know. I go out in the street at night and I walk around the hood, the neighbourhood. The neighbour's been put under a hood, folks. From childhood, actually. Hoodwinked. Ah, we've been hoodwinked. We've been hoodwinked, folks. Hoodwinked. And for me, I don't know. There's certain things, you know. Certain things, you've just, you know, certain times you're going to have to draw your lines in the sand. That's what you got to do. Because then we're linear, aren't we? Got an ear on the line. We're linear. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? Right, we'll just get in some other kōrero. Run you through the book. I'm going to book you all. Because that's what cops do. They book you, don't they? Oh, you book and then you're bound. In the book you're bound. Ah, what are we bound for? Ah, could be binding, whatever it is. So back on the hood. In your neighbourhood. So who are the people in your neighbourhood? Actually, I'll just take a little time here and see who's in there. declare. Yes, to declare. Watching. G'day Jamie, how are you? Christine, when you break the vessel's code and your connection to it, words take on a new vibrational frequency and words become playthings. Yes, indeed, they are. They're magical. Words are extremely magical things. Make no mistake about it, folks. Words are... Oh, shit, is that my dog? Oh, shivers, it is too. Teddy! Oh, wait a minute, folks. I'm going to go and get my dog. He's a happy little dog. So I'm just going to muck around here for the day. Actually, I've got my sign out down here. I'm going to keep on going until pretty much me data runs out. G'day, how are you? You having a good day?
Yeah, pretty good.
It is, it's lovely, isn't it? Nice to see you out. Teddy, come here. Come on. Get back here. Rat bag. He's bloody short, but he thinks he owns the place. Stubborn as. Come here, come on mate, we're going to go. Come on. We don't actually, but he knows those words as meaning certain things. And I just deceived him. Oh, little shite. Oh, look at that one. Oh, it's stunning. Where is he gone? I think it's because I got those hats on. Oh, Teddy, that's enough, mate. You made your point. Teddy! Hey, dogs, turn around. They got God. They think they're bloody God. They think they own the show. Come here. Get back here. Teddy! Oh. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Can I get you just to stop there for a minute and I'll grab him? I think it's because of your hats, actually. Stay there and I'll grab him. See, he's not that bad, Teddy. Come here, get here. Come here. Get down here. Teddy, come here. See, he's as obedient as my kids, this dog. I don't know where they get it from. Little bugger. Anyway, see, there's still a few people about. People are, you know, not shivering in their little caves. Not jumping. Not jumping. You know, the big leader says jump and you all jump. How high? Come on, get out and join me, folks. It's a beautiful day. We're allowed to stay in our bubbles. Exercise our freedom. Freedom of dominion, it's called. Freedom of dominion, folks. You better exercise it while you can, because it's like a muscle. And if you don't exercise it, it goes into atrophy. And entropy. That's how it works. So we need to exercise our muscles. One of the biggest muscles. Get here, you. Teddy, come here. Come on. Come on. Get in the car. Come on. Good boy. Get in the car. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Sit up there. You silly dog. Come on. Oh, what are you doing there? Oh, look, I'll show you something. I got me hei wakaputanga. That's my hucket. The flag you fly under. Chief. And the Bible. There's the law, folks. How's that the law? Let's talk about that actually for a wee bit, because people get upset about this Bible. And, you know, as I say, that word God and religion. Religion is to rebind. Legion is to bind. To re is to do again. So religion is to bind again, and I'm not really into that. I think we've already been bound long enough, haven't we? We've been tied up for a long time, haven't we? Now we've got tie-me, though. Oh, look at that. So this is a Masonic Bible, actually. I got this at the Sunday market down here in, I don't know if you can see that, in Nelson. Masonic Bible, folks. Masons. They got the Freemasonry, didn't they? Oh, how does that work? What masonry did they get free? Perhaps you should look into the Tartarians, folks. The Tartarian Empire. Before the Phoenicians, the Canaanites, the Barbarians, Mongolians, and lots of others. Anyway, so the Bible, you know, why is it, folks, here's a good question for you. Why is it that ignorance of the law is no excuse? Why is ignorance of the law no excuse, folks? Why is it? Why is it you're supposed to know all the laws in those law books when it takes lawyers years to become lawyers and they're still practicing? They're practicing lawyers, aren't they? It's like doctors, they're still practicing, aren't they? They work from a place called a practice. Should I be worried about that if they're still practicing? That means that they need guinea pigs. Oh shit, I wonder who that's going to end up being. So I'd be very concerned about that. And so, where was I? So the Bible, yeah, so there's no excuse for you. There's no, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Why is that, folks? I'll tell you why. Because every home back in the old days had one of these. They had a Bible. Every home had a Bible. And when you were going to record your ancestry, you did it in the inside cover of your Bible, at the front of your Bible. Because everyone had a Bible back in the old days. It's the book of the law, ecclesiastical law. Now, whether you believe in a religion, or whether it's Muhammad, or Krishna, or Buddha, or Jesus, or Yahweh, or Frankenstein, or Tom Hanks, whoever your God is, you box yourself in and name a God, you automatically separate yourself from everything else. You say, oh, I'm Christian. Oh, wait a minute. So everyone that's not Christian is not as good as you, is it? Is that how that works? What's the inference there? You know, one religion's better than another religion. And that's how it all starts. That's how it all starts, folks. My God's better than yours. My God's holier than yours. Well, he got more holes in it, has he? He's got more holes in him. Because there's lots of holes there. They're called pitfalls, folks, and you're falling into them. Potholes. So, ignorance of the law is no excuse, because everyone used to have one of these in their homes. And then here's the law. They're called the 10 Commandments, aren't they? The 10 Commandments. Now, you go to any religion, and at least 2 or 3 of them will be exactly the same. So let's focus on familiar ground, rather than all that flowery stuff on the outside that we can't quite put our fingers on, because it's been lost in his story. Whether it's Buddha's or Muhammad's or Krishna's or whoever's story it is you've put your belief into. Your leaf. Be the leaf again. Is that what you've put your leaf into? See, you've put your leaf into that, folks, because your light, that light's coming from there, and that's what you're seeing. You know, that's the information that's coming in that way. But this guy over here, he hasn't quite got the light yet. He's in the shade at the moment. You know, he hasn't had the light shone. Light is information. Light is information. How, brother? Hi. Morena. Good day. How are you? Hey, you right, mate? Good. It's not the norm today?
Not the norm, no.
Yeah, not the norm.
No, nothing's normal.
Nothing's normal now? No way. No. It's not the norm, all right. But it's all about you. Folkies? Folkies.
Book today? What's in the book?
Oh, this is the Bible, mate.
Yeah.
This is the book of the law.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate law. These are the 10 commandments in here, mate.
Yeah.
And all sorts of underlying foundational understandings to help us navigate our vessels through the stormy seas of life. Yeah, it's always about the vessel, mate, isn't it? You got a blood cell? Got a blood cell?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you're in the vessel as well then. See how that works? It's all about the words, mate. It's about deciphering the words, decoding the words, the ciphers. Those ciphers, aren't they? Those ciphers. Okay, I'm going to turn my sign around. I usually wear my sign. I put that, and I have love, and that goes to me back. Because you've got to have love at your back. You know how that works? Get love to your back, and then you've got good backing, I do believe. Good morning. Yeah, I'm very well, sir, and you? My well is full. And when your well's full, you can quench the thirsts of others. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Maybe glasses. Oh, you got me glasses. So where are we? Oh, book. Oh, yeah, we've been booked. So you've been booked, folks. When those policy enforcement officers, otherwise known as police, pull you over, they book you, don't they? But you don't have any understanding. You don't quite have understanding or clarity. And so you're not able to take responsibility and able to respond with ability. You see how that works? That's how it works. And you have to have the ability to respond. Well, you do, you're just not exercising it. That's it. That's all. You know, and these laws, in fact, because I like facts, because the fact of the matter, and it's all about matter, isn't it? If you don't mind, it won't matter again. So, this is the foundation of the law. It's all in here. Again, I dropped that one. Where was I going there? I hate it when that happens. Here's a little cat. This is Dave's cat. Dave lives in his car. Or no, Dave lives in his autonomous mobility device. Look at this. Oh, yeah, trees. Look at this. What else do trees have, folks? Oh, they have a knot. Oh, shit, that's a big knot. He has a knot. He has not. Hey? Knot means no, doesn't it? Oh, no. No, no's a pretty powerful word, folks. You have to learn how to say no. Trees do. They take note. See the note? Oh, it's a knot. No, it's a note. Oh, it's a logarithm.
Travel according to knots?
That's right. Oh, good one. Beautiful. Yes, Dave's just informed me. Ships travel at knots, don't they? Sail. They sail. They're on sail. Sails are on, folks. It's getting windy. Seas are getting stormy. Waving. Sometimes I lose my track there. Pick me back up again too. I'll look at your comments every now and then, see where you're all at, see what's going on. Where are we? Wait a minute, I'll give you something to look at while I look at what you guys are writing. Something just to, I won't say anything. Oh, it won't say anything, but it'll speak volumes for you. So I'll just leave you there for a tick while I check out what you're saying. Beautiful in the eye of the beholder. Oh, what about the eye of the storm? We're in the eye of the storm, folks. Behold the storm. When you break the vessel's code and your connection... Oh, yeah. Where's vibration frequency? Yeah, once you... And this is it. Once you learn to decipher the codes, you take away the power from them. You dispel them. That's what it is. You're dispelling. So you take away the power of those wards. And all of a sudden... you know, you're on a roll. You're back in the circle again. Thanks, Shaz. Inspiring. Love it. So you guys are all very inspiring too. There's people that inspire and aspire to every single one of yous. Best you stand up. We are all one from the heart. Indeed, yes we are. The Bible, that rules us. Don't know about rules. I'm cautious about rules. Foundational guidelines. Yeah, because rules entails a ruler, doesn't it? Don't know about that ruling. And then you've got to have authority, don't you? Someone's got to have authority. But you try and, you know, I know my authority. I don't need no author of my rights. I know my rights. My rights are inalienable. Unalienable and inalienable. Two different words there. I wonder what that means. Alienated. To be alienated means to be separated. Actually, when I was in Japan, I had an aliens card. I had to get a permit to get an aliens card. I thought that was quite funny. Anyway, so inalienable rights, and they're inherent, aren't they? Oh, there's an interesting word, Norm. Inherent. In here. Where's here? In your heart. Do you hear? It's inherent. Your unalienable and inalienable rights. They can't be taken away from you. They cannot be taken away from you. But make no mistake, you can give them away. You can give them away, and you do almost daily. Because you consent. You know, the con's a fraud, isn't it? Has been sent. And you don't test the con. So there's no contest. Because you don't realise and haven't learnt how to dispel. And once you learn how to dispel, you will be able to see clearly, with clarity. Your eyes will be open. Your eyes will be wide open. Like these eyes here. See those eyes? Those eyes are on my family, look. Those eyes are on my family. And they look like the eyes of a deer stunned by headlights, or a possum with stunned headlights, isn't it? Stunned in the headlights. His eyes are wide open. Why are his eyes wide open? Because he wants to see everything. And vision is 60% of our communication. And that's why, I don't know, some people ask me, oh, why don't you show your face, Norm? Why have you never showed your face? Because it's not about me. Here's me saying that after I've told you it's all about you. It's not about me, folks. You know, and I comprehend where you're coming from there, because for me, I like to look people in the eye to be able to read them, because 60% of communication is visual. And so, you know, within 2 or 3 seconds, most people have judged within 2 or 3 seconds of the visual, because there's 60% of your information coming at you. Vision. Is it a visor? Is there a visor in the vision? There's apples. Oh yeah. Hey Dave, some apples down here in the creek. They're probably good as. Hey, nature providing again. Nature. We've got to be in nature, don't we? Hey? The sign of nature.
Oh, yeah.
Your signature. Yep. Gosh, I don't even know. Shares, Bible rules, yep. I'm going to pronounce your name wrong probably, but is that Nig Ruaporo? Cheers for watching, buddy. Yeah, we read each other through vision, that's right. We look, you know, we look, we see, we observe, our observations. We need to have clear eyes to do that. And to have clear eyes means without judgment, folks. If you can look at things without judgment, then it doesn't matter what you look like. You know, people, you know, lady, the maternal. The maternal has been made to cover up. It's a cover up, folks. It's a cover up with all the ladies out there. Oh, are you laid with ease, are you? You ladies. Oh, but you're Miss, aren't you? Miss who? Oh, Miss you. Miss you right out. Don't they miss you? Miss, oh, Mrs. Oh, she misses the spot, doesn't she? See the denigration in the words there, folks? See how that works subliminally? And that means below threshold. Once someone shows you a subliminal picture and you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you know, you can't unknow. Okay? So, what I'm doing is I'm enabling you to see a little deeper and to fathom things a little more, because things truly are unfathomable. And when you're in that place, you'll have gratitude. And that's all to do with your attitude, isn't it? Gratitude? Is that the longitude or the latitude? Or is it the gratitude? It's all taking you in some direction, isn't it? Because you're the director. And all these guys like a good erection, don't they? and your direction. You see how it's all working? Looked good the other day. Hey Shaz, you need to get your glasses on, love. All I got to say about that, the way I look, folks, is I really don't give a shit of your opinion, because like 1,000 different people have 1,000 different opinions of me, and that, so your opinions are like waters off ducks back to me. I'm sorry. But I'll just say, all I'll say is diamonds are cut in the rough. You gotta go through hard times to know good times, folks. The pendulum. You know, how far have you pushed your pendulum out? How far have you stretched your boundaries? You know? What are you doing, little cat? What are you up to? Eh? He's a little tiger, isn't he? Little hunter. Unfortunately, you should have a bell on. I don't mind cats, but they should have bells on, folks, because they will kill our native birds. Mind you, they won't do as much friggin' damage as DOC's been doing. DOC, Death of Our Country. There's an acronym for you. It's not Department of Conservation, it's Death of Our Country, folks. Who rules countries? I wonder, who rules... What do kings do, folks? Oh, kings rule kingdoms, don't they? What do empires do? Emperors do. Oh, they rule empires. What do countries... Hey? What happens to countries here? And that brings us on to another word of the female, doesn't it? The female word, what everyone thinks is a very denigrating word. Oh, you dirty... I'm not going to say it because there might be people that are not quite adult enough to overcome their reactions to words yet. Because they... See, words will trigger you, and whatever they trigger in you is what you need to reflect on. Reflect. Flexion. Flexion. Oh, there's a fleck in the water. Yeah. Christine. They're on. Good on you, Shaz. We're all diamonds in the rough, mate. We're getting a rough time, but it's hardening us up. It's creating different facets, because a diamond has many facets. And any of your friends will only know maybe 2 or 3 of those facets. So their opinions, unless of course they're coming from the heart, are really like water off a duck's back. So if you's I'll give you a look at me then, if you want to look at me. There you go. Here I am. That's all you get. Oh, you look good. Good to see. It's good to see, isn't it? Does that mean we're on the water again? So we're back to that, actually. Back to the book of the law. They tell us there's 10 commandments. For me, there's only one. There's only one commandment in my book, because I've summed it up. I've surmised some good things from this book, and I've summarised them. Now, as I say, I'm not religious, but this is the book of the law, okay? And there's only one, folks. There's only one law. It's the law of one. It's the law of one. It's all about you. And there's only one law. And it is... Can anyone... I'll give you 2 minutes to write down what you think... Oh, no, I won't actually. I usually do these kind of teachings or understandings in front of an audience, and I usually have a whiteboard and all my props. My props, because I'm acting. Actors have props, don't they, on the stage of the theatre of war? Anyway, it's do not deceive. Do not deceive, folks. So if I You know, like the example I gave the other day, if I tell you my car's worth $10,000 and you drive down the road and it breaks down, then you bought the lemon, but I deceived you. And there's other forms of deceit as well. Because in this book, it talks about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Oh yeah, if you go to the dentist, you want him to pull the tooth, the whole tooth, and nothing but the tooth, don't you? He's just practicing too, the old dentist. He's just practicing. And you go in there, just like the lawyers, they're practicing. The judges, practicing, aren't they? All practicing. That means they haven't quite got it yet. If you've still got to practice, you haven't quite got it yet, have you? You know, it's a pretty simple law. Hey, when violence starts, the brain stops. Be careful with that one. So do not deceive. Deception. Deception is to do with view again, isn't it? Your vision. Deception. Perception. Perspex, you know. Perception, the way you view things, the way you look at things. And so, deception. Do not deceive. It's a pretty easy one, you know. And politicians, politics, poly meaning many, ticks are a head lice. Working from government, governare, it comes from two words, governare and ment. Governare means control, ment means mind. That's what government is, mind control. Working from a house called parleur, mentir. Parleur is French, two words, means to speak and to tell lies. So we have the mind controllers working from a house that's telling lies, and you're all running out and voting for them. Do you see the insanity? Do you perceive? So there's ways that you can deceive quite easily, because politicians will stand up there and they'll tell you the truth. They tell you the truth. They don't tell you the whole truth, but they're speaking with forked tongues. It's double speak. As I say, when John Key, or whoever the muppet is in the seat, gets up there and says they're going to find a solution, solution's money. It's liquidity. They're telling you, he or she, or whoever the muppet is, because I don't work for you, is telling you they're going to tax you. Tax. That's what it is. They just attack you. Yeah, deprogramming, that's right. You have to deprogramming. Because the computer's got a virus, folks. The computer's got it's a computer virus. No, it's a coronavirus. What's a coroner? Oh, the coroner's a guy that comes takes dead people away, isn't it? Oh, is that all about us again? I reckon it's a bit of a hoax, folks. It's a hoax. There's no virus.
What virus?
The biggest virus that's going on is ignorance.
The government's the biggest virus.
Government is the biggest virus. No, it's not actually. Government's not the virus. It's your ignorance, people. Ignorance and self-righteousness. I'm so self-fucking righteous. Yeah, I know everything. I know nothing. I'm an expert on nothing. And I'm fallible. It means I'm able to fall over. But hopefully, because I'm full of hope, there'll be others standing beside me, shoulder to shoulder, who will pick me up when I fall. That's all I could ask, and that's all I would do. We've got to pick each other. It's not the fall of man. It's not the fall of man, mate. So, Book of the Law. Yes, everyone had a Bible at home, so ignorance of the law is no excuse back in the old days. And anything I'm saying too, folks, you know, you used to have to ride 100 miles to find one of these in the old days, a book of any sort. Jeez, folks, we got the bloody Alexandra's Library at our fingertips. This device you're all sitting there looking at and holding on to and watching from. These are our forms of communication. These are our witnesses, in fact. These are the ultimate witnesses. And I want you to get off your seats and get out there, go down to the hospitals, go down to the doctor clinics, go live, show us what's going on, man, because you are the eyes and the ears out you. And I'm trying to motivate, because we all need a motor, don't we, and innovation, so we need motivation. So I'm trying to motivate you to get off your bums and get out there and show us what's going on in your hood, because you're being hoodwinked. And your light's in the dark, and when the light walks into a dark room, man, the dark room flees from every corner. And fleas, we don't like fleas, we want to keep them away from us, don't we? That's right. So yeah, yes. And here's another thing with language. Oh, that's right, females. I was on the females there. Female, miss. They miss you out. What was the other one there? Feminine. Oh, I forgot now. Forgot where I was going with that one. I'll have a look at what you're saying. Anyone saying anything? Who we got there? Christine Henson, Shaz. Anyone in Nelson out there? Get the word out. Come down. Come down to Isle Park. And be in the field. In the field of knowledge. Do we know that's on the edge? Yep, it is. It is a con. And so, seeds of love we shall do. See, there's all sorts of interesting things in colour. Colour, isn't that about the law? Isn't it colour of law? It's all about the colour of law, isn't it? And the colour of law allows room for discretion, doesn't it? Oh, being discreet in that colour of law. You know, there's so many words, so many, that once you start looking at them and deciphering them and decoding them, you get such a different picture of what is going on. And this is why people are saying, you can't quite put your finger on it. Because it's in the words, folks. It's in your language. It's in your voice. It's in your voice, it's in your words, it's in the way you project yourself, the way you emanate from your centre. And if you're not centred, then your emanations aren't going to be so good. Okay? So fill your own cup first, and then go and quench the thirsts of others. To teach to each other, to raise everyone around you's vibration to such a level that you resonate. There's reason in that word, isn't there? To resonate. Oh, that makes good reason. That sounds good, Norm. We like a bit of reason, don't we? Don't get the head in front of that. What's the head, Norm? Oh, it's the T. You don't want treason there, do we? No, we want to resonate. Yeah, emanate the reasons to resonate. That's right, Shaz. Shine your lights bright, guys. Walk into those corners, Fucking toughen up, guys. Toughen up. Toughen up, man. Start getting on high beam. Because unless you fucking start going and looking in those corners, they're going to stay dark. And they're going to haunt you. Haunt you. Haunt you. And then you'll be hollow. And a hollow tree is not a very strong one. Although there are exceptions to every rule. Because it depends on the context, doesn't it? We all need context. And we have to decipher the context, the text. The cons and the text. It's in the ciphers, in the letters, in the caricatures. Caricatures are personas. The persona. What persona do you emanate, radiate? Radiator. See what I'm giving you, folks? Like, this is my autonomous mobility here. It gives me autonomous mobility. It's not a vehicle. It's not an it's not car, although it does go, and it does carriage goods, which is cargo. It does carry goods. Conveys, actually, conveyance. Lawyers convey things, don't they? They don't convey things very clearly, unfortunately, because lawyers were originally called grammarians, and the grammarians were the wordsmiths. Wordsmith. Oh, Smith. And so the lawyers, they were... See, here's another thing, folks. You know, it's so obviously in front of your faces, it's ridiculous. What else do they call lawyers, folks? Solicitors, don't they? Oh, wait a minute, solicitor. What does solicit mean, folks? Oh, in America they call it soliciting. Another word for soliciting is prostitution. Who are they prostituting, folks? Solicitors. What are they soliciting? Oh, they're just practicing. You see how that works? And they're attorneys, aren't they? They turn things around. Aten. Oh, it's Aten in there. Is that Egyptian god in there again? Someone's god. Someone's going to say it's a god. They forget all about you, though, don't you? See, this is it again. When you project your thought outside yourself, oh yeah, God did that, God did that. No, mate. No, sit down. Sit down for a minute. Let me enlighten you. Because with information puts us information, and information is knowledge, and knowledge is power, isn't it? So let me empower you. Let me raise your perceptions a little higher, so you too can see a little further. And then you can look out that way for me, and you can say, hey Norm, I saw this going on over there. And I'll go, oh, so now I know. See how that got passed on there? You don't want to pass on, do you? Because that means you're dead again, isn't it? It's the world of the living and the world of the dead. Oh gosh, I dropped a point there. There was a loose end there somewhere I didn't pick up on. What was it? Oh, that's right, the car. I was talking about the car, the Karuma. Your vehicle. Your vehicular. Vehicular. Oh, wait a minute. Jugular. Hicular. Jugular. Oh, is that jugular? Oh, no, I'm being vain. I was being a bit vain there. Sorry about that. You know, the artificial, arterial. Anyway, so this is my carriage of goods. This is my autonomous mobility device. It enables me to have autonomous mobility. Hey, I come up with a good one for DAO too. You know the DAO as an acronym? D-A-O, or sometimes it's T-A-O. T-A-O, TAO, the DAO, the DAO. The DAO, I'm a DAO. I figured it out. I'm a decentralized, autonomous organism. That's what I am. I like that. A decentralized, autonomous organism. Anyway, where was I there? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, so I don't know shit. I don't know shit about this thing. You know, I don't know shit about this thing. I know a bit about the engine. I know where to put the petrol in. I know that the police had all the tyres stolen off their car the other night. But they're working tirelessly to find the robbers. Got to get your tyre on the road, don't you? Get your tread. Get your tread on the ground. If you've got good tread, which you all have, because you've got soul, which gives you healing at the heel. They're all close together there, at the foot of things. Grounded, on solid ground. Because you're all made from the earth, aren't you? The heart. Isn't earth in the heart? And you've got to hear. So this is my autonomous mobility device, and it's got all sorts of bits and pieces to it. Now, I don't know anything about all the bits and pieces of this vehicle. I know the value that it has. I know what it cost, and that's worth it to me, because that enables me to connect and to see, to join. Even though when I'm in this thing, I'm in isolation, but it's a vehicle, okay? It's a platform. It's a mode, okay? It's a mode. Mode of transport. Trans means to move. Port is a port. Ships dock at a port. That's why you need a passport. It's actually a port pass. And the first thing they ask you is, what do you have to declare? What would you say? What would your answer? Swear? Is that swear in that word? Answer? Swear again? Are we swearing again? Let me swear on the Bible. People swear on the Bible, don't they? When you go to court, they give you the Bible. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? As far as, so help me God. So help me God. And you say, yes, yes, of course I do. Yes, I believe in the truth. And then they take it away from you, leaving you empty-handed. What happened then? What happened then, folks? Do you see what happened then? See what happened then? See how they'll come up and they'll take it away from you. Have you thrown the law away? Have you given the law away now? You just swore on that. Didn't you? You just swore on that. And then they take it away from you. Oh, wait a minute, give that back. Give that back, mate. Hey, not taking that off me. No, I just swore on that, mate. You know, I'm not giving that back to you. You know, and you don't want to swear on it either, folks. What do you want to swear on it for? Why would you want to swear on that? You want to affirm? Oh, I'd like to affirm things. Oh, I like affirmations. I like good, positive, wholesome affirmations. Because then we affirm things. And when we affirm, we have good grounding because we're on the terra firma. And that's why there's a war on terror at the moment, the terra firma. Go to my Facebook page and have a look at the definition of terror. Actually, wait a minute, I've got it for you. I've got it for you right here. Don't go anywhere. Wait. Oh, waiter. Are you a waiter? Now I've got you waiting. Oh, now you're my servant. Please wait. Do I tie you or tie me? Or tie me to you? Where are we here? I've got it in here somewhere. Aha! I see! I saw! Oh no, does that mean I'm in pain? Oh, I saw! Oh, I'm sore! Oh. No, it's in the past. See, past. And when you're past, you're dead. That's why you're sore. Because it hurts. Do you get that? That's how it works, folks. So terrorism. Here we go. Look at this. Terrorism. A system of government by terror. Intimidation. Oh, yeah. So terrorism is a system of government by terror and intimidation. Intimate. Intimid. Interesting word. Terrorist. Terrorist. One who rules by intimidation. Does that ring any bells, folks? For whom the bell tolls, it tolls for you. Conspiracy, is it? Oh, it's the cons. Yeah, it's a conspiracy, all right, folks. It's the cons, the criminals, operating in piracy. Do you see? The cons, the criminals, operating in piracy. And because you're the vessel floating at sea, not anchored, and at the whims of the wind and the storms and the lulls, when there's no wind, especially if you're on sail. Hey, if you're on sail, man, it's not in your interest, is it? You're losing interest. Oh, that's money. Oh, no. You see how that works? Do you see how that works? And it works. And it works on you. And you think it's great. And it is great because it grates you. It grates you every day. It attacks you. Attacks. So, yeah. There's other words there, actually. Because spire also... pyre. Pyre is as in pyramid. It's fire. Pyre is also fire, folks. Oh, that's interesting. See how there's just, even in one word, in one ward, in one little block, in one little cell, because these are all characters, aren't they? Made with a pen. A pen's a cell. Oh, co's the first word of company, isn't it? Company, oh, we all like company, don't we? But it's the company of New Zealand, in full capital letters, capitis, dominutio, maximus letters, that have cut you off. It's capital, capitate, cut off, isn't it? So anything in full capital letters has been cut off from anything living. It's dead. Again, dead worlds, living worlds. So it's a conspiracy. You're on fire. You need to feel the fire within and inspire. You're in fire. See how that works? And what's a spire? A spire reaches up, doesn't it? Spires up to the heavens. Oh, that's pretty inspiring, isn't it? Conspiracy theorist, my ass. I'm a critical thinking public safety analyst. Got that? Who instead of watching, I don't even know what that is, Duck Dynasty and Honey Boo Boo, actually investigates shit that should matter to everyone. The great, yeah, it hurts, doesn't it? The grate your cheese, cons, piracy. Oh, you see how that all goes, folks? Oh yeah, NASA. Here's a thing. NASA is a Hebrew word. What does that mean, Norm? Oh, deceive. And it stands for never a straight answer. Oh, that's what that is. Never a straight answer. Oh, well, that's true. See, they're telling you exactly in front of your faces. Exactly in front of your faces, mate. I told you yesterday about, in Fantasyland, then we're chilled, then we're adulted, aren't we? And that's what they call, school. Why do we go to school, Mum? So you can be moulded into a state-approved homogeneous drone that cannot think outside of the prescribed consensus. You will learn to repeat information instead of how you think for yourself, so that you don't become a threat to the status quo. When you graduate, you will get a job, pay your taxes in order to perpetuate the corporate system of indentured servitude. Servitude, slavery, serfs. Serfs, don't they call us the serfs? Oh, the commoners. Yeah. Graduate. That word there comes from gradual indoctrination. Graduation. They gradually indoctrinate you. They've got to tell you what they're doing. They've got to tell you what they're doing right in front of your faces, again, because it is all part of caveat emptor. Good folks. Caveat emptor. The buyer beware. I hope you're all starting to get it. It's like, I'm doing this kind of like advertising. When they advert something on TV, they add something, don't they? They advert. Oh, what are they adverting? Oh, well, something else is going on there. Those adverts on TV, you've got to see them 2, 3, sometimes 4, 5 times. And once you've done that, then the program's been downloaded. And so you'll run that program. That program will run from you. And that's what they do. They baffle us with bullshit, mate. Quite frankly, well, they don't actually. They tell us exactly what they're doing, but they use all these beautiful, lovely, flowery words that make it all sound nice. Oh, you get up there in court, and someone's bashed you over because they were out of their centre. They were in uncharted waters and didn't feel comfortable, and so expressed themselves with violence instead of thought and thinking. And the judge would say, did you suffer injury? You'll say, sit there, mate. Oh, he broke my bloody leg, and he, black eye, fat lip. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, I suffered injury, all right. Go look up the word suffer. Suffer in legalese, lawyer's language and the colour of law, means to give permission. So when the judge says, asks you, did you suffer injury? You say, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, man. It really hurt. Really hurt, man. It was real bad. He's asking you, did you give permission for your injury? And you go, yeah. You see what's going on there? Well, because of the misinterpretation, because you didn't interpret it, did you? You didn't really take it in. You didn't respect. You didn't look twice at what was being said. You didn't hear. Even though you're hearing, you didn't hear. Even though you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, which tells you to speak twice. Listen twice and speak once, and you didn't. So you got caught. Oh, shivers. It's a bit of a tricky net, that one. Oh, yeah, it's internet. It's your internet, mate. You're just a fish. You're a surf. You've been caught. So, words and lawyers and words. See, lawyers speak a legalese. Now, legalese looks like English, sounds like English, but it is not English, folks. It's code. It's double speak, okay? And as I said yesterday, English is known as an equivocal language, and it's duplicit by its nature. It's fork-tongue language with divisiveness and duplicity and anxiety built into it. And that's why something doesn't feel right. Because your pendulum's gone too far, one way. And you need to be half left, which puts you in the centre again. So lawyers use words called legalese. And that's like Japanese or Chinese or Portuguese. It's a very specific language. Although there's a lot of nebulous terms in there. Meaning that they can't quite be talked down. They can't quite be tied down. Okay? So it's all about the law. So when they give that book to you in a court, mate, don't let go of the friggin' thing. And don't be swearing on it. Affirm. Because this is the book of the law. Whether you're religious or not. It's got all the codes to live honourably and in righteousness. You know? Centred and real and true and not deceiving. Especially yourselves. Stop deceiving yourselves. Go and reflect. You know, go and get in front of the mirror and look at yourselves. Well, it's not even the mirror, really, folks. You know, it's the internal mirror. Don't look at yourselves on the outside. You know, because you're always going to find fault there. You're always your own worst critic, aren't you? You're always the one putting yourself down the most. Better think about what it is you think about, folks. Because if you mind, it will matter. If you mind, it will matter. Yep. Here's an offer you can't refuse. Go out and vote. Register to vote, folks. That's what you do, isn't it? You apply. The word register in legalese means a transfer of ownership. See, there's your vessel that you own being conveyed. Have you registered your children at school? Or your child, your chilled? They chilled down? Ah, it's a noun. A student in school. The origin is middle class English in the sense orphan or ward. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on there? The old French word pupilli, or from Latin pupillus, or diminutive, or papas, meaning boy, or papilla, diminutive of papa, girl. Pupa and pupas, sorry. So orphan. So pupil is an orphan and a ward of the state. You were born in a ward, weren't you? How you doing? People out enjoying the world. Beautiful, I love it. Pupil as a noun is a dark, circular opening in the circle of the iris, of the eye, varying in size to regulate the amount of light reaching the retina. The retina. To return from the inner. The window of the soul, the eyes, aren't they? So when you register your kids in school, they become orphans and wards of the state. And so, you know, again, the English or the words being used are getting you into contract. You know, dividers and the rulers. The dividers and the rulers. Oh, we use those in numbers and mapping, don't we? And planning. Don't we plan things with... Oh, are they planning? Is there a bit of a plan going on here? Hey, is there a bit of a plan? Oh, dividers and the rulers. Oh, interesting. They all working together. Saying to you before, yeah, control perception and you control reality. Unplug the signal and reclaim your mind, folks. Turn your TVs off. Turn TVs off and get outside. Oh, here's a little interesting story. I wonder if I can stay on track with this one. Okay. Maybe I'll leave with this. I'm getting a bit of a dry throat. I'm going to stay down here for another few hours. I might come on live again later on. We'll see what happens. So media. We have the media, don't we, folks? Oh, what's Medea? I wonder what Medea is. We have the media and Medea. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to stay. I'm going to stay on this. Actually, there's a couple other things I want to talk about when you're booked. Because when you're booked by the cops, they charge you, don't they? And charge is energy, isn't it? Oh, and you think it's fine. And so they fine you. Oh, and you think, oh, great. Oh, I've been grated again. I've been taxed again. So, So yeah, I don't know. Actually, I'm going to stop for a while, actually. I might come on a little bit later on. Actually, I'm just kind of feeling a change is happening. I need to observe and sit still in silence. Ah, that's what it is. The cops are over there. That's what it was. Cop car just went by. Oh, I got to chill there. I wonder why it changed. See that when you perceive things and notice things and are in tune with yourself, you're in atonement, you're centered and sounded, you can hear. It's not hear either. It's more like it's intuition. I don't know how to put it in words actually. Your senses, your beingness, your fight and flight reaction to things. And you can. Here's a very interesting story. Actually, I'm going to get a drink of water, and I'll. During the early, I don't know, First World War, Second World War, whatever it was, the army used to employ the North American Indians as trackers. Okay, you know, long-haired North American Indians, and they're the only ones that were allowed to be conscripted. Interesting word, conscripted into the army with long hair. They were allowed to keep their hair. Now, the reasoning for that was that, and this is again interesting, hair. You know, hair? You know hair? Do you hear? Are you here? So that when they, and so what they did to test these I don't know whether I bought me a drink bottle. Boogity. When they tested the skills of the Indian trackers and that, and for because it's a theatre of war we're in, they tracked, try and infiltrate enemy territory and see what's going on, and then be able to hide for a couple of days and then see what else is going on, and then come back, and they were never able to, never got caught. And the army did tests like that too, threw one Indian in the jungle in a certain area and had the soldiers try and find him, and they never could. They never could track him down. And what they did is when they conscripted the first wave of Indians trackers into the military, they went and cut all their hair. And when they cut all their hair, the Indians were not able to be as sensitive or fine-tuned to the vibrations, the radiations, and the fields of energy around them. And so they lost their ability to be able to be snuck up on and dealt to, because all their hair had been cut off. And so your hair is like your antennas. And so the military allowed them, from that point on, to be in the army, and the North American Indians are the only ones allowed in the army with long hair. Isn't that fascinating? Because when they cut their hair off, they lost all their abilities. They lost their sensitivity, because it's part of your antenna, your body, your receptacle, your cup. Isn't it a receptacle? Oh, what's a receptacle? Oh, it's a cup, Norm. What's the most famous cup, Norm? Oh, that'd be the Holy Grail. What's the Holy Grail, Norm? What did it have in it, Norm? Oh, it had blood, didn't it? It had blood. Oh, what's blood? Oh, it's a vessel. It's a blood vessel. The Holy Grail, the cup. You're the cup, and you've got to get a handle on it, folks. It's not about the Bible. It's not about religion. It's about you getting centered, being honest, stop deceiving, stop casting negative affirmations out there about yourself, and stop using words like, oh, I can't do that, oh, I always do that, oh, I'm never able to do that. You see what you're doing there? You see what you're doing there? You're denigrating your own energy, because words have energy. Words have vibration and energy. Out in this field of sound, this field of grounding, it's ground, it's good ground. It's good grounding. It's pretty solid. It's affirmed. It has stability, stable. I'm not trying to rock the boat, you know. Oh, don't rock the boat, Norm. Oh, what, your vessel? That cell phony, phonetics, the Phoenicians, the seafarers, gave us a lot of our language with the words, all about the ship and the water and the land. Ship and the water and the land. I'm just reading some of the comments. Hi, Christine. A firm grip. Yes, damn straight. A firm. Yeah, we're back on the land. The firmament. Oh, the firmament. The firmament. Mint is mind. To be firm in your mind. Oh, I like that word. Firmament. And this is what happens. Once you get your brain around how words and codes and ciphers work and layers of information, you can start to decode words yourself. And you will start to see. So now you too will see. And that is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you to be a little bit more analytical. Because it's all about you. And the more you analyse yourself, the more you will understand. And then you will have overstanding and innerstanding. And there's your triune. Your administrator, your beneficiary, and your trustee. But that's all about trusts and contract and that. But that's another language. That's your legalese again. From the lawyers, yeah, the grammarians. To gram is to weigh, isn't it? Isn't to gram things a measure of weight? Oh, but wait a minute. Oh, wait. Oh, that sounds heavy. Oh, that's a bit heavy, mate. That's a heavyweight. Oh, he's a heavyweight. Oh, right. He must be loaded. So the grammarians, the word comes from two words. It's Latin, again, gram, meaning to measure, and to mar, which is to confuse. So the lawyers, or the grammarians, were there to confuse the scales of justice. And that's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. Again, they're telling you exactly what they're doing, but you're not deciphering the message. And it's a messy age, folks. It's a messy age. You know that message? Because it gets messy with age. It's like the Chinese whisperers. The further away it gets from the core, the less detail there is from it. And that's why when you go to early dictionaries, they'll give you far more beautiful detail. And then you can really talk things down about words. But the later dictionaries, the definitions get flowerier, the words get more nebulous and vague, all to confuse, to fuse the con. And that's how it works, folks. And so the grammarians, to gram, to weigh, to mar, to confuse. Now, interesting grammar. Oh, we use grammar, don't we, in our words, in our text. Texts. Oh, yeah, in the context. We use, I left my glasses here before, look at that. I found them. Where was I? Context, grammars, lawyers, where are we? See, that's why I usually have me whiteboard and I can write things down as I go and get back and pick up on those loose ends. Sometimes I forget to pick up on the loose ends. Grammarians. That's right. That's right. And what is the oldest book that we know of wizardry, of wise? Is that wizardry? Are they wise? Oh, which wise? Which ways? Actually, I could tell you a very interesting story about witches and the broomstick. But anyway, where am I? Back at grammarians. The Grand Grimoire. What is the Grand Grimoire, or the Grand Grimoire, folks? That's the ultimate book of magic. Magic. Now, there's a beautiful word. You put an I and create a nation, you'll get I, Magi, nation, won't you? Now I see. I, Magi, nation. I create. Because I am the magician. And that's why, you like this, here's a goodie for you. What's the guy up on that bloody bench? The guy when you've been caught, who's the guy you face? You face the judge, yeah, sure. Where does he sit, folks? He sits on a bench, doesn't he? A bench. What does bench mean, Norm? Well, actually, it's a Latin word. I'm glad you asked. It's a Latin word, bench, and it means bank. So he represents the bank, folks, because someone's paying. You're in court. It's a game of tennis. The ball goes over the net to the respondent and then back to the defendant, back to the complainant, back to the defendant again. Sounds like tennis, isn't it? Oh, it is tennis, mate. Because you play tennis with a racket, and it's a racket. But there ain't no love in that game when you're caught, mate. Believe me. When you're in that court, there's no love in that game, but it's a racket. Again, they're telling you exactly what's going on. So the judge is sitting up there. He's on the bench. Bench is a Latin word. It means bank. He represents the bank. He don't give a shit who's paying. Someone's paying. He doesn't care who. Now, what else do they call that guy? That guy that's sitting up there with his wig. He's got a wig on. Oh, wait a minute. He's got a robe. Is he an actor? Oh, wait a minute. Is he a character, a caricature? Is there something going on here? Is there a bit of a theatre going on here? He looks a bit dark. I'd be in his chambers, that's why. He's probably in his chambers, is he? Hey? What, that judge? That judge. Judas, eh? Jude. Oh, Jude. Got to pay your dues, folks. Just remember that. You got to pay your dues. Because when you get a bill, your bill, it's due, isn't it? Your bill's due. Oh, it's just another play on words, Norm. Oh, you've been silly, Norm. Sure. Are you sure? I'm sure, because I'm on the land when I'm on the shore. I can see. I can see when I'm on the shore, but I can affirm that. Because I have good standing, good stature. And so they call that guy in the black robe and the wig, the actor, the character, the caricature, they call him the magistrate, don't they? Isn't he the magistrate? Oh, what does that mean, Norm? What is magistrate? Oh, it's straight out magic. It's straight out magic. He's telling you straight away. You even call him, yes, magistrate. And you give him honour. You give him honour. Mate, he's the banker. He sits on the bench. It's the bank. Someone's paying. Because it's a tax. And you're all on board. You're all on board. You're all on board with that, eh? Doesn't sound too good to me. Sounds like you've been caught. And you'll go in there. Yeah, there's a whole avenue of kōrero around courts. I'm still on the book, actually. I'm still on the Bible. Bi meaning two, bull. Oh, wait a minute. Bible. Oh, Bible. Two loads of bulls. Is that the before? The Old Testament, the New Testament? No, well, there's been a lot of stuff put on top of that. But the underlying story is, there's your commandments. There's the law, the L-O-R-E. It's common. It's common to everyone because it's the common law. It's cause no harm, cause no injury. Do not breach the peace. Pretty simple things. And they're conferred in all sorts of ways. Live and let live. Live and let live. Live yourself and let others live. That's what we do. Been going for a wee while now. I suppose people are going to get bored with this after a while. But anyway, that's all good. That's all good. Who we got there? Anyone new in the hood? Faith. G'day, Faith. How are you? Hope you're all safe out there. It's good to have faith. Nice to have you here. Gotta have a bit of faith. David. How you doing, buddy? Oh, that's David in the car park. This thing. Yes, choose your words wisely. Choose your words wisely, meaning with wisdom. Now, you can all start researching now. Researching, and you too will start to see. Your eyes will be a bit more open. You'll be able to register a little bit more, meaning you own, because remember, register is a transfer of ownership, a transfer of your ship into someone else's dock. And they're going to tax you. That's a tax. So every corner you walk around, you're getting taxed. And there's certain rules and regulations and things you need to know about. Okay? Certain things we need to know about. And like this is my autonomous mobility device, and it's got an instruction manual. And it's good to have an instruction manual because it helps us to figure out some of the things we don't know. And this, for me, and for you too also, can be an instruction manual. And that's all it has to be. Because we all have been given a vehicle here, a vessel, that is incomprehensible to us. You know, because we've been kept in the dark and fed bullshit, just like the old mushrooms, folks. And so this helps as an instruction manual. There are all sorts of really valuable stories that you will garner insight from in here. I'm not encouraging you to go read it, because most of you know it already, because it's inherent, meaning it's in your heart. And if you hear your heart, it's in here, isn't it? It's inherent. And so you can do that, you can own it, it's all about you. Remember, it's all about you. So this is just an instruction book. You know, and that can be interpreted in many different ways, because it's full of wards. It's full of wards, folks. It's full of wards. But it gives us knowledge. And knowledge is power. To overcome. Oh, I shouldn't turn that round, eh? Ignorance is bliss. But I just want to leave you with this one. I'm going to leave you here and indulge myself for a little bit. So it's all about frequency, pitch, volume, depth. It's your word, isn't it? Isn't your word good? Is your word good? Oh, can I trust you? Oh, we're getting into a trust again, are we? Is there a contract there? Are we contracting? Don't mistrust, eh? Don't misplace your trust. That could be also very unsettling. Can't find it. Where is it? I want to leave you with this. So, you know, we all need an instruction book, and look inside yourselves. Listen to what rings true, harmonises with you. You know, sing your own melody. Because without melody, you'll be sick, won't you? And then you won't have music, will you? You won't have music. Without melody, it'll make you sick. Without the M, I don't know where it's gone. I lost it. Oh no, I've lost it. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you that story. I won't tell you that story. I'll leave that for another timing. Oh, I can't find it. Anyway, it's all about you, folks. It's all about you. You know, you need to instruct yourself. Don't deceive yourself. That's the only rule, really. Don't be deceitful. Don't be deceitful, man. And that's with others, with yourself, with everybody around you. And then you'll have good standing. Then you'll have good morale. Oh, is that moral? Oh, good moral is good morale, isn't it? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's quite interesting, eh? You know, integrity, and firm grounding and standing. So there, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for joining us. I'll check in a little bit later. Okay, a couple of things actually, a little bit of house cleaning I'm going to do here. I'm going to start posting all these on my Facebook page called Not the Norm Radio Show. And I'm going to try and get my YouTube channel up and going as well. It's going to take me a little bit of sitting down and going through an instruction manual to teach me how to do these things. I can read it, then I'm read, then I'm a master of my own vessel, my own ship. Being the master of my own ship. Remember, folks, keep your eyes open, guys. Love and light. There's love and light. Peace out. Peace in and peace everywhere. Take your peace. Make your peace. Stand up for your peace. Hey, catch you later, guys. Love yous all.